I wanted to, number one, share with you that we are the same city that we were last week. And that city is a city that respects everyone, that welcomes everyone.
It was very clear to us immediately that this was a riotous group that had prepared in advance to come downtown and disrupt either the Pride event or the Prayer in the Park event or just riot downtown in Sherman. We didn't know that at that point, but it was clear to all of us that there was some ill intent there.
Tonight, we are following the arrest of 31 suspected members of a national hate group that packed into the back of a U-Haul over the weekend in Coeur d'Alene. Police suspect the group planned to riot at the North Idaho Alliance Pride event. Good evening and thanks for joining us. For KREM 2 News at 11, I'm Amanda Rowley. Mark is off tonight. Well, let's get started. Tonight, newly filed Kootenai County court documents detailed just how much planning and coordination went into the group's attempt at disturbing the peace in Coeur d'Alene this weekend. We can also confirm from these court documents, police seized 3 vehicles, the U-Haul, a Ford Ranger, and a red Camry as evidence. Now, court documents say the founder of the Patriot Front told officers he traveled to Coeur d'Alene to peacefully exercise his First Amendment rights. Another suspect told police he traveled a long way for the cause and said, "We go where we are needed." Now, Coeur d'Alene police found several typed documents on the leader of the group, Thomas Rousseau. One document discussed the group being there to raise a voice against the moral depravity which permits events such as this to take place, which is referencing the Pride event. Now, another document outlined call locations, primary checkpoints, drill times, prep times, and observation windows. Court documents say it also listed GPS coordinates for a drop point with 2 backup plans. It references using smoke, and an exit strategy is outlined as once an appropriate amount of time and confrontational dynamic has been established. Police also confirmed none of the suspects had any illegal drugs or other illegal items on them, but what they did find among the 31 suspects included tactical medical kits, radios, and cameras. In fact, one suspect had what appeared to be a single smoke bomb or grenade. Now, none of the 31 suspects appeared in court today. It is their responsibility to schedule a court date, and so far, several scheduled their court appearance for July 18th, including the suspect who's here from Spokane. Now, let's get to what police said at a press conference today. KREM 2's Janelle Finch was there as the mayor and police chief addressed the media.
Earlier today, the mayor of Coeur d'Alene and the police chief hosted a press conference to discuss the weekend arrest of 31 men associated with Patriot Front, a white nationalist group. Police say that they did not initially know that a group planning to riot was coming to Coeur d'Alene until they received a 911 call. Still, the mayor and the police chief want to reinforce that Coeur d'Alene is a safe place and the community should view this as a one-off event.
We're not going back to the days of the Aryan nations.
The mayor of Coeur d'Alene wants his community to know they should feel safe.
We emphasize that Coeur d'Alene is a safe city, and that isn't just the mayor saying that. I can document that with all the evidence that's provided by our police department in terms of the statistics and the reports of every activity that they're involved in, and we are still a very safe city.
Police Chief Lee White says the same and commends the concerned citizen for alerting law enforcement of suspicious activity.
And as a result, we likely stopped a riot from happening downtown.
Pride in the Park and an event organized by Panhandle Patriots Riding Club were happening at the same time downtown when the U-Haul containing Patriot Front members was stopped. Court documents say Patriot Front came to Coeur d'Alene to raise a voice against LGBTQ morals.
My guess is that since there was so much rhetoric online about the 2 opposing groups exercising their viewpoints and things of that nature, that this became a flashpoint.
White says authorities were prepared, and looking forward, Coeur d'Alene residents and visitors should not be scared.
I'm hopeful that members of our community they view this as a one-off, and they continue to come down and enjoy their time in our city and our parks.
The 31 men were charged with misdemeanors on the conspiracy to riot. All 31 individuals have bonded out of jail. According to Chief Criminal Deputy City Attorney Wes Somerton, there are no additional charges, but this could change based on further investigation. We know that the founder of Patriot Front and a man from Spokane were among those arrested. The man from Spokane is set to appear in court July 18th. The other men have 21 days to call the court and schedule their first appearances. This investigation is ongoing, and we will continue to follow the story as it develops. In Coeur d'Alene, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Now we'll share more about Saturday's arrests, including a full recap of the incident coming up in about 10 minutes. But let's take a look at weather. All this rain in the inland northwest is causing some minor flooding in some areas. We have a viewer photo that shows water pooling at the intersection of North Nevada and Newport Highway. Now we do want to remind drivers to be careful in these conditions and never drive in standing water. When in doubt, always follow the rule, turn around, don't drown. Yeah, so we are surely off to a cool and soggy start to the week. So with these cooler temperatures and minor flooding, as you saw there, it's hard to believe it's actually June. We have meteorologist Michelle Boss joining us now. Michelle, can we expect the weather to clear up anytime soon?
It will clear up, just not quite soon. We've got another day of wet weather to deal with, another cool, breezy, wet day. Take a look at some of the rainfall totals over the last 24 hours. So after seeing this, you won't be so surprised that we saw some flooding, over an inch at the Spokane airport. Again, this is just in the last 24 hours, so this does incorporate some of the rainfall we saw yesterday evening. 1.5 inches in Coeur d'Alene, nearly 2 inches in Sandpoint, nearly 3/4 of an inch at the Pullman airport, and about 1/2 inch out towards Moses Lake. We do have flood advisories in the areas shaded in light green through early tomorrow morning, and we do have a couple of river flood warnings. The Ponderay River below Albany Falls and the Palouse River near Potlatch, they're experiencing minor flooding right now. Also, winter weather advisory, that area shaded in purple in the Idaho Panhandle above 4,000 feet. Could see a little snow. We do still have some rainfall across eastern Washington, but Spokane getting a little bit of a break right now, but that rain's going to rotate right back over us tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be cool again. We barely made lower 50s today, and we'll probably just be in the 50s tomorrow. More rain, 58 degrees, and windy again for Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Michelle. New tonight, the Spokane City Council voted in favor of a proposal to bring a pride crosswalk to the city. The motion passed 5-2, with Michael Cathcart and Jonathan Bingle voting against it out of concern for the cost of the project. In total, it would cost up to $300,000 to implement. That money will be used over the course of 3 years as part of a community crosswalks pilot program. Now, people can vote on the proposed intersections in areas such as Monroe Street, downtown, South Perry Street, and the Garland District. And now to Nightbeat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Today, the trial continues for one of the suspects in the murder of a 19-year-old Newport man. The suspect, Riley Hillstad, was in court Friday for opening arguments. Hillstad is the second suspect to go to trial for the murder of Jason Fox in the fall of 2020. Hillstad is facing several charges, including first-degree murder, kidnapping, and tampering with evidence. Former Idaho Representative Aaron Von Ellinger was back in court this morning as part of his efforts to either get acquitted or get a new trial. Now, he was convicted in April of raping a state house intern. Von Ellinger wants the state to pay for the jury transcript of his trial. However, the judge said he needs a list of Von Ellinger's assets. The transcript will provide the basis on which he can file the motions for acquittal or a new trial. As of right now, Von Ellinger is still scheduled for sentencing on July 28th. He faces up to life in prison. The 9-year-old girl who was attacked by a cougar over Memorial Day weekend in Stevens County is traveling to Seattle today. Lily is getting surgery on her left eye. Now, last week, hundreds of her stitches were removed. Lily was at a campground when the cougar attacked. A GoFundMe account has raised more than $100,000 to help the family. To learn more about her recovery, you can text us the word Lily to 509-448-2000, and we'll send a link right to your phone. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000. Well, the second public hearing regarding the January 6th Capitol riots kicked off this morning. It revealed additional claims from the former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr. He blames Donald Trump for spreading the lie that the election was stolen from him. That's despite repeatedly being told there was no evidence proving his claims. Today's hearing also focused on how advisors told former President Donald Trump he lost the election, but he continued to peddle false claims. Among the most shocking moments were Barr's statements surrounding former President Trump's mental state.
When I walked in, sat down, he went off on a monologue saying that there was now definitive evidence involving fraud through the Dominion machines, and a report had been prepared by a very reputable cybersecurity firm, which he identified as Allied Security Operations Group, and he held up the report, and then he asked that a copy of it be made for me.
The next hearing will be on Wednesday at 10 a.m., followed by another on Thursday at 1 p.m. The investigation is expected to continue into the fall. All right, don't go to bed yet. After the break, we're sharing more details of the 31 men arrested on Saturday. What led up to the arrest when we come back in just 90 seconds.